Hey everyone, and welcome. We're going to dive into something that could honestly change your digital life. It's a system for finally getting a handle on all that digital chaos. It's called Para, and it's this super simple way to organize literally every file, note, and idea you've got. All right, let's jump right in.
So let me ask you something. Is your digital world just a complete mess? You know what I mean. Your desktop looks like a bomb went off, important files are just somewhere across like 10 different apps, and you have these amazing ideas you've jotted down, but you can never find them again? Yeah? If you're nodding your head right now, trust me, you're in the right place.
Okay, so the good news? The fix for this isn't some crazy, complicated system that's going to take you weeks to set up. Nope. It's a really simple, kind of elegant framework that's built on just 4 categories. That's it. Just 4. Think of them as 4 folders to rule them all.
All right, so let's meet these 4 buckets, right? The whole system is built around this simple acronym, P-A-R-A. And that stands for projects, areas, resources, and archives. The whole idea is that every single digital thing you own, every file, every note, is going to fit neatly into one of these 4 spots.
And seriously, that number, 4, is everything. We're not talking about creating like 50 different folders with complicated subfolders. Just 4. That's the secret sauce. That's what makes the system so powerful and, honestly, what makes it so easy to actually stick with. Okay, first up, P is for projects. So what's a project? It's basically anything you're actively working on that has a clear goal, and this is key, a finish line. Think about it. Preparing your tax return, planning a vacation, even finishing an online course. All of those things end at some point, right? That's a project. Next, we've got A for areas. Now, these are the complete opposite of projects. Areas are the ongoing responsibilities in your life that never really end. You know, things like your health or your finances or maybe your career development. You don't just finish being healthy, right? It's something you maintain. You keep a certain standard. That's an area. R stands for resources. Now think of this bucket as your own personal library or your inspiration board. It's a collection of topics and cool stuff that you're interested in, but it's not tied to any specific project right now. It could be articles you want to read, design ideas, your favorite quotes. You get the picture. It's all that might be useful someday stuff. And last but not least, the second A is for archives. Honestly, this is the easiest one. When a project is done, when an area of your life is no longer active, or when a resource just isn't relevant anymore, it goes here. It's like your digital cold storage for anything that's finished but you don't want to just delete. Okay, let's stop for a second and talk about the number one thing that trips people up, the difference between projects and areas. Just remember this simple test. Building a new budget for Q3, that's a project because it has an end date. But managing my personal finances, that's an area. It's an ongoing thing you do forever. See the difference? All right, so that's the theory, which is great, but how does this actually work day to day? Like, you have a new file, a new note. Where does it go? Let's get practical. Let's run through a few examples to make this crystal clear. Say you have a brilliant idea for a new app. Where does it go? Well, it probably starts in resources. It's just an idea for now. But the moment you decide to actually build it, boom, it becomes a project. Or what about your tax documents? The ones for this year are for a project, but all your old returns, they go straight into the archives. And just managing your money day to day, that's your finances area. It's all starting to click, right? You know, let's zoom in on that resources folder for a sec, because this is where the magic really happens. This isn't a digital junk drawer. Please don't let it become that. It should be your curated library of stuff that inspires you and makes you better. Think UI designs you love, amazing movie clips, notes on people you admire, templates, book summaries, all that good stuff. So by now, you're probably thinking, okay, great, but what apps should I use for all this? And the best part is you don't need a million tools. The recommended setup is a really simple 3-layer system. Just a few tools that play nicely together. So here's what that toolkit looks like. First, you've got something like Notion, which acts as your command center, right? It's for all your text, notes, and dashboards. Then you've got Google Drive or Dropbox. That's your big media vault for all the actual files, the PDFs, the videos, the big stuff. And finally, something like Pinterest or another visual app can be your inspiration library. See, each tool gets one clear job to do. No confusion. Okay, so imagine you've set all this up. The 4 folders are there, your tools are ready. How do you make sure it doesn't just turn back into a giant mess in 6 months? Well, you do that by sticking to a few golden rules that keep the whole system running smoothly.
This first one is the big one. It's a total mindset shift. You need to organize by actionability, not by topic. So you don't just have one giant folder called finance. Instead, you think about how you're going to use the info. Your tax return file, that goes into the Taxes 2024 project. Notes on your investment strategy, that's part of your finances area. And that cool article about the economy, that's a resource. It's all technically finance, but it's sorted by what you need to do with it.
This next rule is so important. Archive. Don't delete. When a project is over, just drag that folder into your archives. Don't hit delete. I mean, digital storage is ridiculously cheap now, but the context and the knowledge from that old project, that could be priceless down the road. Seriously, your future self is going to thank you for this one. And the last golden rule, link, don't duplicate. We all have that habit of making copies of files and scattering them everywhere. You gotta fight that urge. If you have a cool image in your resources folder that you need for a project, just link to it from your project notes. Don't make another copy. This gives you one single source of truth for every piece of information, and it cuts down on so much clutter. Look, at the end of the day, Para isn't just about making your folders look pretty. It's about building what some people call a second brain. It's a system that actually supports your goals, helps you focus, and frees up your actual brain to do what it does best, think and create. It's an organized, searchable system that's always there for you. So the only real question left is, are you ready to build yours?